Imagine a love so strong that not even time, distance, or family pressures could erase it. This is the story of Ashley and James, two young people who faced everything to be together. Who hasn't felt a forbidden love that defies all the rules? Join me for today's story. Ashley and James grew up together in a picturesque coastal town where everyone knew everyone. Ashley, a bright-eyed 16-year-old with big dreams, came from a modest family of fishermen. She loved listening to the stories her grandfather told about the sea. James, an 18-year-old with an infectious smile, was part of the most influential family in town, owners of the largest fishing company in the region. From an early age, Ashley and James found refuge on the golden beaches of their town. They would sit side by side on the sand, watching the waves and talking about everything that was on their young minds. As the sun set, dyeing the sky orange and pink, they shared their most secret dreams and hopes for the future. For them, every sunset was a magical moment, full of promise and possibility. As time went by, Ashley and James' friendship turned into love. They knew that their families would never approve of their relationship. This was because there was an old rivalry between the independent fishermen, like Ashley's family, and the large fishing company owned by James' family. This rivalry had created a great divide in the community, and any relationship between the two families was seen as a betrayal. Despite all the pressure and the fear of what might happen if they were discovered, Ashley and James continued to meet in secret. They found a refuge on the isolated cliffs, where they could be who they really were, without judgment. There, they exchanged letters full of love, expressing their deepest feelings and promising eternal love. Even with the tension between their families, Ashley and James kept their romance a secret, making it all the more exciting. One hot summer afternoon, they were on a small hidden beach that they had discovered together. This place became their favorite, a space where they could forget their problems and simply enjoy each other's company. Although James always treated Ashley with respect and affection, their growing need to be closer physically became more and more evident. They were young and deeply in love. On a golden afternoon, with the sun shining softly, Ashley and James found themselves on the secret beach, their special refuge. As the waves of the sea whispered softly in the background, they moved closer, exchanging tender kisses and soft touches. Lying on the cool sand, they felt the warmth of their close bodies and the burning flame of pleasure they shared. In that magical moment, it was inevitable that they gave themselves to each other, with great love and passion, letting their love blossom to the full. That day, with the light breeze and the sky painted in warm colors, remained engraved in their hearts. Ashley and James knew that moment would be remembered forever, as proof of the deep and genuine love they had for each other. As time passed, the secrecy and pressure from their families became heavier and heavier. When Ashley and James' families discovered their romance, there was an explosive reaction. Ashley was forbidden to see James, and he was forced to break up with her. But their love was too strong to be forgotten. Determined to stay together, they decided to fight for happiness, even if they had to face the disapproval of their families. Even though they were happy together, Ashley and James always felt the weight of their family's expectations. When they were finally discovered, there was a major confrontation between the two families. Ashley was forbidden to see James, and he was forced to choose between his family and his love for Ashley. They had to separate, and their hearts were broken. After this painful separation, Ashley had to leave her hometown to study in another city. James' family always reminded her that, for them, she wasn't good enough for him. Ashley immersed herself in her studies, trying to forget the pain of losing her great love. Her family always told her that she and James had no future together, that she needed to face reality. They said it was just teenage love and that soon they would both forget all about it. But Ashley knew that she would never forget James. No matter how much time passed, she would always love him. Meanwhile, James tried to fill the void in his heart by immersing himself in work at the family business. Away from Ashley, he changed drastically. He became gloomy, always frowning, and rarely let a smile escape. The joy that Ashley brought to his life disappeared, leaving his days as bitter as sea salt. The company, which had once seemed vibrant and full of life, now reflected the sadness he felt inside. In the years that followed, Ashley and James tried to move on with their lives. The love they shared, however, never completely disappeared from their hearts. They both tried to find happiness in new relationships, but neither could fill the void left by the love they once had. Even though they were separated by distance, the memories they shared continued to connect them in a profound way. Ashley treasured James' letters, and in moments of solitude, she would reread them, feeling the warmth of his words and remembering the happy times they had spent together. James fondly remembered the magical moments he and Ashley had spent together at seaside parties. But fate had other plans for them. As time passed, new paths emerged. In a surprising turn of events, Ashley, now an adult and full of courage, decided to return to her hometown for a short visit. Educated and successful, she understood that no one else could decide her fate. Ashley was nervous about meeting James again, as she had cut all ties with her family and decided not to know anything about anyone else. The anger that had filled her heart was still there, but she knew she had to face her past in order to move on and open up new paths for the future. She was too scared to find out that James had married and had children. After all, after so many years, how could she know if he still loved her? When they met again on the beach, it was like a ray of sunshine breaking through dark clouds. Despite being apart for so long, the flame of love still burned strong. When they saw each other, they realized that they had never truly stopped loving each other. It seemed as if time had stood still. Ashley, now a confident and determined woman, and James, a mature and resilient man, met again. With a mixture of surprise and excitement, Ashley and James met on the beach where they used to see each other. Their glances of recognition were followed by a warm embrace, breaking down the barriers of the past and rekindling the flame of love that never went out. They needed no words as they embraced, remembering the precious moments they had shared. When they started talking, James didn't want to hide anything and revealed that he had gotten married during the time they had been apart. A marriage that was basically done to please his family. Ashley was surprised, and a whirlwind of emotions ran through her mind. However, James soon explained that the marriage hadn't worked. He separated because he understood that it wouldn't be fair to live with someone he didn't love. He could never forget the love he felt for Ashley. She, despite her initial shock, felt a wave of understanding. They shared the experiences that changed their lives during their separation. James talked about his marriage and how he realized that his heart had always belonged to Ashley. As they talked, they realized that, despite the difficulties and the different paths they had taken, the love between them was still strong. The reunion brought back all the emotions and feelings, showing that true love was there, waiting to be rediscovered. The days went by, and Ashley and James started seeing each other again. They visited the same places where they used to meet years ago, reliving memories and creating new ones. The secret beach, as they called it, once again became their refuge. There, away from the prying eyes and external pressures that now didn't bring them so much fear, they could just be Ashley and James, like in the old days. Sitting on the sand, watching the sunset, they rediscovered the joy of being together. Each encounter brought out laughter, stories and dreams that had never really gone away. The connection between them, which had always been so strong, now seemed even more intense. On that secret beach, while the waves whispered softly in the background, Ashley and James hadn't forgotten the first time their bodies touched intimately. And a reunion full of passion and pleasure was inevitable there. The cliffs and sand of that beach were the stage for them to finally kill the longing and burning passion they had felt all this time. My friends, here you already know, don't you? It was such a reunion. Ashley, who had only come to visit her parents and her hometown, decided to stay there for good and live a new life with James. Now they were no longer worried about what their families would think. After all, they were no longer teenagers like in the past. Now they were two adults committed to living this love. Ashley and James' families saw the genuine happiness on their faces and began to reflect on the past. They recognized that they had been wrong to prevent Ashley and James from living their love. They realized that their true love was something rare and precious, something that should be supported and not fought against. In a gesture of reconciliation, both families reunited with Ashley and James. With open and repentant hearts, they admitted their mistakes and apologized for separating the two in the past. They declared their support for the couple, promising never to interfere in their happiness again. On that secret beach, as the waves whispered softly in the background, Ashley and James realized that true love survives time and adversity. With their families now by their side, they decided that nothing would ever separate them again. United by love and understanding, they were ready to write a new chapter in their lives, together and with the support of everyone they loved. Despite many challenges, Ashley and James faced pressure from their families, society's expectations and the distance between them, but they never gave up on each other. Their story shows us that true love is strong and can overcome the most difficult situations. There's no way around it. What's meant to be ours will always find a way to reach us. Did you like Ashley and James' story? Leave a comment, like the video, and let us know what you think. Have you ever experienced a forbidden love like theirs? We want to hear your stories. Don't forget to leave a like and share with your friends to help our channel grow and bring you more incredible stories. Your support is very important to us. Thanks for watching and see you next time.